Hello and good day to you all, wherever you are in the world. My name is Tariq Darwish, and I will be with you today talking about project risk management. You probably know me from my previous videos, the one on Introduction to PMI, the Project Management Institute, the one on the Introduction to Project Management, the one talking about project scope management, schedule, cost management, and so on. This is a series to prepare you for the PMP, the Project Management Professional certification, and today we will be focusing on project risk management. It corresponds to chapter 11 in the famous PMBOK, the project management body of knowledge that you are all familiar with by now. So by the end of this module, you will be able to put together a risk management plan. You will be able to build a risk register in which you identify your project risks, in which you will be assessing those risks both qualitatively and quantitatively. You will also record in your risk register your risk responses, the intended risk responses, the planned risk responses, strategies and tactics. Then you will also be able to understand how to implement those risk responses. And finally, how to monitor your risks and update your risk register and risk response planning regularly. And throughout this chapter, we'll be talking about a number of tools and techniques. We'll be explaining those tools and techniques using practical examples and case studies that will make the concepts very clear to you and very vivid in your mind. So let's start right off with defining what a risk is. A risk is an uncertain event, something that might or might not happen, might or might not take place. Like, for example, you're worried it might rain tomorrow. You are worried the permits to excavation might be late or delayed. So this is something that can or cannot happen. Now, if that's something, if you regard, for example, if you regard that rain tomorrow as a positive event, as something that will help you, then the talk is about an opportunity. Now, if rain tomorrow is something that is bad to your project, something that will have an adverse effect on your project time or schedule, on your project cost, then you will be talking about a threat. So risk might be a positive event, which we call an opportunity, or a negative event, which we call a threat. So you might think of risk as two types. It might be an opportunity or a threat. But either type is something that might or might not happen. It's uncertain. When that differentiates, for example, risk from issues. Issues are certain things that have happened, and of course, usually negative things, like if it's raining now and it's ruining your work or is delaying your work, then the talk is about an issue, not a risk anymore. So in projects, you would be keeping a risk register and an issues log. The way dealing with risks is different from the way dealing with issues. And it's important that you keep a clear idea about the distinction between both. Long story short, risk is something that might or might not happen. And it has one or more causes, and if it happens, it can have one or more impacts to the project and the project objectives. So the 7 risk management processes on this chapter will help you identify your risks, build your risk register, will help you analyze those risks, assess them qualitatively and quantitatively, and plan the responses for them, and of course implement those responses. They will also help you continuously update your risk management artifacts, such as the risk management plan and the risk register. They are not static documents in nature, especially the risk register. It's a dynamic document since your risks are not static. New risks might arise, some risk attributes might change, so you will need a process to re-examine your risks regularly throughout the project something that people just do by nature. It's a constant item on the regular meetings agendas to reassess project risks and update that risk register. The risk management chapter is no exception in the PMBOK. You can notice very